There we go. All right. Okay, friends. So I already got that recording. So we're going to go on and get started, but we're going to start with read. Actually, no, I already have the math question up. We'll start with math. And we'll do math since I already have that. Y'all can't hear me? Can y'all hear me? No? Okay, hold on. Hold on. That's a problem. Let's see. No. It says my volume's on. Can y'all hear me now? Is that good? Okay, there you go. I don't know what happened. It said I wasn't muted. Huh. That was weird. Okay. So everyone good? Y'all can hear me now? Okay. Good deal. I don't know what happened. I think Zoom's been on overload lately with everyone using it. Okay. So we're going to go on and start with math instead, since I already have the math question up that I wanted to work with. Now, from what I saw yesterday, a lot of y'all did really good with the math question we had. And I think it was a lot more straightforward for you guys. So, we're going to go on. Whoop, keep the chat up in case y'all need to say anything. Okay. So, I'm going to go on with this math question. Okay, so we have started with 3-digit subtraction, which I think a lot of y'all last week were already using the question to do subtraction, which is fine. If that still got you the right answer, great. And then a lot of y'all are solving it different ways, which is always fine. Okay, so we're going to go on and work on this one, okay? Y'all still hear me okay? We're good? Okay, good deal. Thank you, friends, for shaking your heads so I can see. Fabulous. Okay, so we're going to go on and work with this one today. I wanted to give y'all more of a word problem one, since that's what y'all will be seeing more, okay? So we're going to go on and read this one and then set up our problem, okay? So we have Aston has 689 cars. He gives 453 cars to Dylan. So how many cars does he have left? Okay? So we're going to go on and set this one up, but we're going to set it up together. Then I'm going to let you try and solve it on your own. If you watched the video I did yesterday, I gave y'all a strategy. If you're not sure what to do, hang tight, and I'll give y'all a chance to watch me walk through it, okay? So we're going to go on and set this one up together, okay? So we're going to start it with 689, because that's the bigger number out of these two. Because when we're doing subtraction, we want to make sure that we have the bigger number, okay? So that's always going to start it off when we write our equation out, okay? And then we're going to put minus 453, because that's the smaller number, okay? So that's how we're going to have that equation set up. So y'all go on and write that equation out on your piece of paper. So a few more friends who are coming in. Okay, so right now all you're doing is writing out that equation, okay? Okay. Can y'all give me a thumbs up if you got it written out? Have a few friends who have it done. Awesome. Okay, if you've already written out the equation, I want you to go on and try and solve it on your own. If you're not sure what to do, try. But then I will show y'all the strategy I showed in the video yesterday, which I think will help a lot of friends out if you didn't get a chance to see it. Okay, so right now, having our equation written out. Okay, and then going on and solving it. give y'all a second to do that. I'll give you about 2 more minutes with this one. And then I'm going to show y'all the strategy I showed yesterday in the video. I know this is a long one, guys, so if you don't finish it, it's okay. We'll finish it together. Yes, Shaylee Beal?
I got the answer already.
That's great. So hold on for just a second, kiddo, okay? But you keep that answer, okay? Alright guys, so I'm going to go on and show y'all the strategy I did yesterday in the video I sent out, okay? So if you did it a different way, that's okay. I don't care. As long as you are getting to the right answer, that's all that matters. So even if you don't solve it the way I'm solving it, then that's fine. But if you don't have a strategy to use, then try using this one, okay? Because I think this one seems to work out best for our group of kiddos. Okay, so we know that this is our hundreds place, our tens place, in our ones place. So I'm going to put hundreds, tens, and ones under that just to remind myself that, okay? So I'm going to start here with my hundreds. And now we've been starting with using hundreds this week, or 3 digits. So I know I got to draw 6 hundreds blocks. So that's a lot. So I'm going to try and start over here so I have room. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I'm going to write 100 in that just to remind myself that's what that represents so I don't get confused. Okay, so I already know I got my hundreds place taken care of. Now I'm at my tens place. And I know we've done our tens before. So we know that our tens, when we write those out, look like little skinny blocks. Okay, so I need to draw 8 of those out. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so that's where I'm at right now. So now I got to deal with my ones place, and I have 9 in my ones place. So I want to make sure my ones blocks are much tinier than my hundreds blocks so I don't get confused, because sometimes we end up drawing things and they all start to look the same. So we want to make sure that they look different, okay? So I'm going to draw those a little bit smaller. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So that's that whole number drawn out, which I know is a lot, but it's going to help you here in a little bit, okay? So did anyone do this strategy? You can raise your hand, yes or no. Shaylee did, Aston did, awesome. Haley did, awesome. Bianca did, awesome. Thomas, fabulous. Ariana, everyone, fabulous. Okay, so I want y'all, if you haven't already, if you got that written out, great. If not, you can write it out here in just a second so you have this to look back on. But I'll also be posting the video later of me showing this so you know what to do. So I'm not going to draw out 453, friends, because we're not adding another number to this. We're taking away. So we're going to start here first with our hundreds. So I know I'm going to be taking away 4 of those hundreds blocks. I'm going to use a different color to show that I'm taking away. We'll use my red. So I got to take away 4 of those hundreds blocks right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know those are gone. Okay? So now I'm going to go over here, and at my tens place, I know I got to get rid of 5 of these. Okay? So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to cross out only 5 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? And then I'm at my last one, my ones place. And I know that I'm going to take away 3 of those. Ooh, y'all can't see that marker very good. Hold on. Let me go back over with a darker one. Maybe my black will work better. There we go. That shows up better. I'm going to go back and cross those out so y'all can see it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then looking at my ones place, I'm going to take away 3 of those. So 1, 2, 3. Okay, so everything I X'd out, guys, is gone. It's done. So what's left, what's not got an X on, is what we're going to count up and see what we get for our answer. Okay, so looking right here, I have 1, 200. So I know I'm going to write a 2 first. Okay, then I'm going to come over here to my tens place, and I have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to write my 3 next. And then the last one, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? All right. So that's it for solving this one. If you draw out your whole picture for that bigger number and then cross out here, that's going to help you get that answer, friends, okay? So y'all going to be practicing that on your own today with 2 different word problems I sent out. So I just wanted to kind of walk y'all through the process. Did anyone get the right answer when they did it? Some of y'all did? If you did, great. If you didn't get to finish, that's okay. I told y'all we probably weren't going to have enough time to sit here for the whole period of it, but that's fine. Okay, so that's how you're going to be solving your problems, or if you have another way of doing it, friends, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to go on. Or actually, I want, if you haven't already, get that written down. I'll circle that so y'all see it. So y'all can look back on that, or you can just go look back at the video today. But if you haven't gotten most of that written down, go on and get the rest of that. Give y'all like a minute or 2, okay? You already have most of your work written out. That's great. Looks like most of y'all have it written out. Yeah, give me a thumbs up if you're good. Shaylee's good. Aston's good. Carmen's good. Thomas is good. Bianca's good. Haley's good. Danny's good. Boston's good. Who was I waiting on? I saw one person writing. Ariana, are you good? Okay, you're right. I think my friend is watching right. Okay, friends, I'm going to go on and erase this because we're going to need it so I can show you guys how you're going to do your reading responses this week. Okay? All right. So I picked a book that we've read before, but I thought it'd be a good one to go back on. And I'm going to reread it anyways, even though I know y'all have heard it before. So we have Horace and Morris, but mostly Dolores. So we're going to read this one again today. But what I want you guys to be trying to look for in this one is what's the big event, like the hugest thing, the most dramatic point in the story, okay? So think which event really sticks out to you when I'm reading this, because that's going to be our main event that we're writing about today, okay? Capiche? Fabulous. Okay. All right, kids. So I'm going to do what I normally do, where I have the book down here, and then I'll show you the pictures, okay? Go on and get started with that. So remember, you're looking for what's the big event whenever we're reading this one. Horace and Morris, but mostly Dolores, loved adventure. They sailed the 7 sewers. They climbed Mount Everest. They dared to go where no mouse had gone before. Horace and Morris, but mostly Dolores, never said, "This is something we shouldn't do." They said, "This is something we've got to do." And so there was almost nothing they didn't do. Horace and Morris and Dolores were friends, the greatest of friends, the truest of friends, the now and forever I'm yours sort of friends. And then one day, Horace and Morris had made a decision to make. They didn't want to do anything without Dolores, but as Horace pointed out, a boy mouse must do what a boy mouse must do. Bet you can't say that 3 times real fast, Dolores said with a smile. Horace and Morris didn't even try. They didn't even smile. Goodbye, Dolores, they said. What kind of place doesn't allow girls, Dolores wondered as she watched her friends step through the door of the Mega Mice clubhouse. Yikes! Downhearted, Dolores went on her way alone. It wasn't long before. There's a lot going on in that clubhouse. Dolores had this. Oh, excuse me, friends. Dolores had a decision to make. She didn't really want to do anything without Horace and Morris, but she figured a girl mouse must do what a girl mouse must do. She said this aloud 3 times real fast just to prove that she could. I'll bet Horace and Morris couldn't do that, she thought, but she wasn't smiling as she stepped through the door of the Cheese Puffs clubhouse. And then this one's just a picture. And then that's their task for today. Gifts for Mother May from Munster. I don't even know if I'm saying that word right. It's a type of cheese, though. Day after day, Dolores went to the Cheese Puffs. Day after day, Horace and Morris went to Mega Mice. They missed playing with each other, but as they said, a girl mouse must do what a girl mouse must do. A boy mouse must do what a boy mouse must do. Horace and Morris, and even Dolores, were sure their friendship would never be the same. But one day... Dolores made a different decision. "I'm bored," she announced. The other girls stared. "Anybody here want to build a fort? How about a roque fort?" The other girls booed. "Okay, forget the cheese. I'm sick of making things out of cheese anyway. Let's go exploring." The other girls gasped. "Phooey," said Dolores. "I quit." If you quit, then I quit too, a small voice said from the back of the room. Outside, Dolores introduced herself. I'm Dolores. I'm Cloris, said the girl. Now where can we go have some real fun around here? Dolores thought and thought. I've got it, she said at last. Who wants to go exploring? With girls? Yuck. No way. I do. Me too. Can I come too, please? So they went to the boys' clubhouse to see if any of them wanted to come along too. The 5 friends spent the rest of the day exploring. Cloris and Boris and Horace and Morris. But mostly Dolores. And the very next day, they built a clubhouse of their own. Bet they like their clubhouse a whole lot more than those other ones. All right, friends. So we're going to talk about the main event in that story. So I want y'all to take a minute and think, what do y'all think the main event was? And if you think you know, raise your hand so I can click on y'all. Okay, we'll start with Shaylee, then we'll ask Miss Carmen. Okay, Miss Shaylee, what do you think the main event was in that story?
When the boys said they didn't want to be friends with Morris.
Okay, so there's one guess. Let's see what Miss Carmen was going to say. Okay, Miss Carmen, what did you think the main event was?
Jamie took my answer. It was the same answer.
You were going to say the same thing? That's okay. Does anyone else have another guess? We feeling shy today? If we are, it's okay. Shelly, you want to give one more guess? Okay, what do you think, kiddo?
Whenever they built a clubhouse.
That's a good guess. Y'all are on the right track. So those events are still very important to the story. So really there can be a lot of events that are important, but you have to kind of think which one was the changing event in the story. So with this one, it was whenever, I'm going to try to see if I can find the page. Yeah, it was whenever Dolores decided she was going to quit the club because she wanted to go back to her friends. That was a changing point. And when she did that, she made a new friend. Okay? So here's how you're going to be writing your responses this week, okay? I'm going to write it out and give you an example of it, okay? So this is a long title for a book, but I'm going to get the whole thing down, okay? And luckily, y'all can see my whole board. Thank goodness. Okay. So y'all just kind of watch what I do because you're going to be practicing this on your own later, okay? So I want y'all to still understand what you're doing, and you'll have sentence stems for this, okay? So I'm going to start with the main event in, make sure I get that whole title, Horace and Morris but mostly Dolores is when Dolores quit. I think it was the Cheese Puffs Club, if I remember correctly. Can you always go back in the book and check? Friends, yes or no? Can you go back in the book and check? You sure can. Thank you, Carmen. You can always go back in the book and double check if you're not completely sure. That's always allowed. I want to make sure I get the right club. Cheese Puffs Clubhouse. Okay. When she quit, the Cheese Puffs clubhouse. Okay, so that's just your first sentence. And it's long just because we have a very long title with this book. But you gotta make sure you give all that so you know, or so your reader, your reader, will know which book you were reading and what you thought the main event was. Okay? So the main event in Horace and Morris, but mostly Dolores, is when Dolores quit the Cheese Puffs clubhouse. Okay? So now I gotta tell you're gonna tell me why was that event important. Okay, so don't write anything yet, friends. We're still talking, okay? Or we're about to talk again. So I want to tell me, why do y'all think that event was so important to the story? Shaylee, why do you think that event was important?
Because whenever the boys said they didn't want to be her friend anymore and they wanted to join the boys club, after she quitted the girls club, she had no one, and then she went to the boy club and then asked if they wanted to join with her.
Okay, so you're on the right track. I like where your head's at with it. You're really close, friend. Does anyone else think they know why? Aston, are you raising your hand, friend? I can't tell with your arm moving like that, silly. We're all shy today except for Miss Shaylee and Carmen. It's okay. I know it's kind of intimidating getting to talk on here, but that's all right. Okay, so the reason Shaylee was really close, she was on the right track. So yeah, this event's important to the story because afterwards she was able to get her friends back and start a new group of friends with her old friends. So the way I would want to write that, I'm going to say, it is important to the story. We'll all go over here because Dolores would get her friends back and make new ones because they had new friends come join them. Okay, so I got all that written out. So here's the whole thing. Okay, so the main event in Horace and Morris, but mostly Dolores, is when Dolores quit the Cheese Puff clubhouse. It is important to the story because Dolores would get her friends back and make new ones. Okay? So that's my whole response right there, friends. That's not a lot. Can you add more if you want to? You sure can. Okay? But sometimes when y'all go and add more, I'll move my head so y'all can see it. Sometimes when y'all go and add more, y'all like to tell me you will tell me the whole story in your writing piece. I don't need you to tell me the entire story when you go and write your responses, friends, okay? So make sure you can still tell me events in the story because obviously you need to do that, but make sure you're not telling me the entire story in your response, okay? I notice that a lot with my writers. I have a lot of friends who love to write, and I love that you love to write. But with this, I want to make sure that we're really specific with what we say back, okay? Okay, so that's what you'll be doing in reading, okay? Math, I feel like y'all are rocking it with math right now. Reading, it's a little bit more tricky just because we all have different books. If you would like to go look up the YouTube video for this book and make your own response to it, you can, but I already kind of gave y'all a good chunk of that. So maybe try and find a different book today. Okay, I want to see if does anyone have questions before we go. Does anyone have questions? Y'all feel good? Y'all think, oh, here we go. We got one question. Yes, Miss Emery?
Will we be able to keep doing this when you're gone?
What do you mean, kiddo? Like practice this today?
She means the fun talking time at 12.
Oh, yes, we're still doing that at 12, kiddo. Yes, ma'am. All right, do we have any other questions? Y'all gonna rock it and do fabulous? I think y'all are gonna rock it and do fabulous. All right, so I will see y'all at 12 for our class hangout. Okay, if y'all don't have any questions, I will see y'all later. Okay, thank y'all for being fabulous. Bye, guys.